What's up? What's up? Check this out, right? Here's some shoes.
Are these Jordans?
But like, who leaves shoes? It's just like someone's like, I don't feel like walking with shoes on when I just take them off and put them there. Maybe since we're by the creek stream thingy, they went in there and they had two pairs of shoes. So one got wet. But still, why don't you take them off? Anyway, good morning. It is the day before school officially starts, and I'm nervous, excited, anxious, afraid. Actually, before I even get into that, so to all you dog owners, I let you down. I'm sorry. I could not step up to be who you would want me to be. So this morning, I walked outside, and I was making sure I had enough space on my stupid iPhone so I can make my video. And he's technically not my next door neighbor. He has a trailer in the parking lot behind the house. I don't know. So every time I go back there, he has his dogs, these big ass bear looking type dogs. And then he'll be like, don't worry, she won't bite you. And they got names like Daisy and Lola. But they're like massive and scary. If I see them in the middle of the night, I'm running. So I usually go out of my way to go the back way instead of going past them. I come up the back way. Anyway, so he passes by. I say good morning because I guess he's a neighbor, whatever. And then he's like, "Did you see my dog? They got loose. They saw a cat and they ran off to go catch it or whatever." And I'm like, "Daisy?" He's like, "No, Lola." And I'm like, "No, I haven't seen her." So then I'm like, sheesh, that dog roaming around. So anyway, I'm walking down here, and at the corner of my eye, I see a big, I think these are Rottweilers? Not bulldogs. Rottweiler? I don't know, the big dogs, whatever. All black with the little brown things. I'm not a dog person. So I see this dog at the corner of my eye. It looks like the dog. And so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go. I don't even know what my first instinct was just to go run up there and take the dog home to safety. So I run up the street and I see the dog kind of like where that tree is. And I'm looking at the dog and the dog looks at me. I don't know if it was smiling or whatever, because he claims that the dog knows me. But I ain't never pet that one. I think I petted Daisy because Daisy comes up to me and sniffs me while I'm at the car, and I'm just like, get your dog away from me. The other one, I don't recall. So, dog's looking at me, I'm looking at the dog, and I'm just like, not today. Because if it was like a little poodle or some shit, so I turned around and said, nah. So I'm sorry for all you dog owners. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I'm not afraid. I like Scooby-Doo, Lassie, but I got memories of Sandlot dog, whatever, Cujo. So yeah, and that movie, the one, what was it? Biohazard, when them dogs turn into like zombie. Not today. But hopefully the dog, because it was about 2 blocks away from the house and it's in the right alleyway. So if it is the right dog, maybe he'll find his way home like that movie that came out. I might watch it. I'm rambling. But yeah, so tomorrow school starts and I feel a whole bunch of emotions. I guess 2 days ago I was in the classroom and I finally got all the desks and cleaned up everything. I'm just standing there. I have a sense of pride, like, oh man, my classroom. 'Cause I never had a classroom. And I'm trying to anticipate the reaction when of course they know I'm the teacher. They got emails and newsletters and all that. But when they see me, like, hey, Mr. Bill, like, hey. And just having that fresh start, like, all right, day 1, this is what we're doing. Boom. Anticipating their why do we gotta do this? This is day 1. You're 6th graders now. That's how we roll. And hopefully that just kinds of, but yesterday I wanted to work on music. Today I want to work on music. Get my last because I don't know if I mentioned it, but I made an album worth of tracks like a week ago. Just sat down and I was gonna record it for the end of the month. But yesterday, I had to make sure everything was in line, so I did my clearances, paperwork. I made sure I'm on all the email lists, all the Google calendars for the school. I try to get into all the teacher stuff that we need to be in. So it took a long time, man, because it just did. So I did all that, and today I gotta prepare some back to school week paperwork things. But I got an assist. The principal sent me some credits for the site that makes teacher things. So I only had 10 credits, and I'm a hoarder of stuff. If like this site had infinite files for students and all that, and I'm like saving a bunch. I saved like 28. I only had 10 credits. Like, you know what? I just gotta pick and keep it moving. So I got one where it's like, and of course you could always make your own teacher things, but why reinvent the wheel, right? So one was just like, what's that? Is it a Raptor stores? That's how people die, man. Look, you got a no trespassing. But I like to know what makes. But I'm gonna keep it moving. Sorry, bird people. I just don't have time to be for Raptor store. I mean, those are dinosaurs. There could be a dinosaur back there. Easton got dinosaurs. I bet you didn't know that. But yeah, so this one worksheet, it talks about what you did on your summer and what do you like, birthdays, and then it has a question like, what do you expect from your teacher? So that's cool, give the students a chance to whatever. And then there was another one in another packet. So I had to use 2 credits to get 2 of these. It said something like, what do you know about your teacher? And then they kind of fill it in. And then it says, what would you like to know? So they can ask their questions. So this week we can really get to know each other, because they don't know poop about me. Because of last year, we just kind of jumped into it. And then last year, the teacher who took over for me after I took over, she was doing these morning assignments. I didn't ask her where she got it from, but apparently it was from here. So every morning, every month, there's these assignments that are like tailored to the month and like grammar, English stuff. So I used 8 credits to go all the way up down to February. Yeah. So I'm happy about that, but I need to like sort it out. Because again, if the kids have a system in place, they'll just do it and they'll know what they need to do. So I want to have that set up on the first day. I ain't playing around, man. So when I told the other teachers of my plans, like, oh man, he's teaching. He's trying to do something. Yeah, man, because, that's what I'm here for. But the crazy thing is, I was thinking about this when I walked down here. Teachers don't make a lot of money. As well, I'm sure you know. I mean, they have some strikes throughout the country. I think garbage men and women, people, make more money than teachers. And rightly so. We need, what's the alternative? I think New York had that once when there was a garbage strike and the rats were and the garbage was in the street. So yeah, they should make more money. They taking care of business. But teachers don't, which is so weird. And I don't say it because I'm a teacher. Well, I guess I do, but like some parents, I saw a meme or a thing on TikTok, or I saw someone reshare something from TikTok. I didn't watch it directly. And the woman's like, so I guess I was out the loop. But apparently We're getting that sunlight on me. So this might be the most poignant moment of this video. But apparently when every year the schools tell the parents what they want the kids to have. We need pencils, we need sanitary wipes. Is it sanitary wipes? I guess so, I don't know. And then the parents bitch about it. Why we gotta pay all this money to get the pen? Why does Johnny need 3 number 2 pencils? Shit like that. But this parent's like, she's walking through Target and she's like, if the teacher says she needs Tide, I'm getting her Tide. If the teacher, and she's just being random about shit. But her point was, and my friend said this, he's like, she said, I just want my kids out of the house. She's not saying she don't want her kids, but all summer, you know how we were when we were kids, running in the house and blah, blah, blah. So now we, teachers, we get, in my case, I get 25 students, all different personalities, all different backgrounds, all different discipline issues. And depending who sits next to who, like that's a lot of work. And then the goal is not just babysitting. We got to teach them, grade them, train them. And we get less than, we get pennies for what? That makes no sense. Like, somebody should coin war on education and start throwing money towards, and not even like I'm okay in my situation, but there's schools that have less because they're in dire areas where whatever, in same situation. So I'm scratching my head about, I don't understand. But it is what it is. And we just gotta make the best of what we could do with what we have, right? But the other thing I think I was talking about, so yesterday I made 2 videos. I didn't post it. I'm just gonna post them all when I get back to the house. That's the plan. But my car, the catalytic converter there's something wrong with it. Got to replace it. And my inspection is, I got 5 more days to get it inspected. So I told my cousin he's gonna look to see how much it costs. And we're gonna buy it. He's gonna install it. I don't know if that could be done in a week. So, that is what it is. But I was looking at the transportation. So there's a bus that actually goes from right up the street from my house all the way to like 5 minutes from the school. Now this trip, driving, is like a 15-minute trip up the highway. Taking this bus is gonna be an hour and a half. 1 hour and a motherfucking half. And coming home, I'll just worry about getting there. So I'm kind of, but that's what I gotta do. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm anticipating when it rains, so I gotta get some rain boots, get a big old umbrella. It's temporary because, I'll be working. At some point it will be fixed and I will pass all the things, but kind of sucks. That's the way we're gonna start. And my city, notoriously, and maybe all cities except Tokyo, the buses just don't be coming on time. So I gotta get up extra early so I can get there extra early. So I have enough flex time in between so I ain't like stranded. Yeah. But that just means I could do some prepping on the bus. I could read my books. I could listen to audiobooks. You gotta make the best of it. That's that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. But yeah. What else? Anything else I haven't said? So Amazon, they're such a unscrupulous company. I wanted to get some stickers that I could put on the desk, numbers. I was joking with the principal, like I was telling her I wanted all the kids to have a number and I'm gonna call them by number. And I was like, yeah, that's what they do in prison. It's like, oh, Matthew, stop it. But But I just want them to, like, I have a number on their seat. I have a number on their little locker and there's a number on their, well, they have cubbies, and then they have lockers out there. So I want all the numbers to correlate with each other, and they're gonna get in the habit of writing their numbers on the papers, putting their numbers on the books. Because last year there was an issue where people would like always be taking other people's shit or putting shit in other people's cubbies, and like, I didn't know it was in my. One time, some kid put his books on the cubby below. Then he's like, Mr. Bailey, hey, someone stole my book. He went straight to someone has. I must avenge him. I was like, did you check? I was like, I checked everywhere. So I go over there and I look around. His numbers, it was on the top. I go on the bottom. I'm just like, is this your books? Oh my gosh, you'll find my book. So that would happen all the time, and it's frustrating. Like, I can't, like one girl, she said, I can't find my thing. I'm like, did you check? She's like, I checked everywhere. I go to her desk, and I go way in the back, and there it is. So I'm just trying to think of ways to make it easier for them. You're number one, it should be a number one. You're number two, so hopefully it works. And it's also color coded. So there'll be, by default, 7 groups. I'm hoping the boys don't be like, I don't want to be pink, because I'm not getting in all that. I'm just putting it randomly. But then I could be like, all right, all the pinks, please line up. Because again, these are just some of the issues that we had last year. They would clump up every time. I was like, this ain't a line, it's a clump. But yeah, man. Big up to all the teachers, man. I guess like when you become a parent, you start hitting those, I was a horrible whatever. Like, I used to sneak out of the house, or not sneak out, but I used to do that too, but my mom used to always yell at me when, after school, we would go, I wouldn't come straight home. We didn't have cell phones, and I never used the pay phones. So I just go from school and hang out and come home like at 6. My mom, I would walk to the door. It's like, where were you? And I'm just like, I was out with my friends. And she's like, but that's nerve wracking, you know? Like, as a parent, you don't know where your kid is, calling a school. So like things that students do, like when I see a student with scissors and they're just like, I get nervous because they get hurt themselves. They get hurt another student. I don't want to see eyeball juices. And then it's first we got to make sure the student's okay and da-da-da. But then it's like, why did you let that happen? I didn't let it happen. I didn't tell Junior to pick up the scissors and start. So, safety and all that. And as kids, we don't care about that shit. As adults, we try to put it in place. But yeah, that bus thing, I'm not looking forward to that. Now, you might say, why don't you ask someone to take you? And I would say, who gonna take me? Historically, in my area, I'll just say family. They tend to not show up on time, and they have 8 billion excuses. Well, you meant this. Which, hey, it is what that is. I'd rather bust it, because at least I know more. Well, I'd rather bust it early. I don't know about getting there right on time. Can't trust. I can't. I don't know if I'm a person who don't trust. I just know. I put it this way. Things are what they are. And that's that. Like, it's later, like right now it's 7 in the morning, whatever. It will get cold, or it will get warmer, it'll warm up. And then this will be too hot to be wearing. I'm gonna have to tie it around my waist. But I also knew that if I came out here without it, I would be cold, because that's my way my body is. I get cold easily. Go to the movies, I need to have, I have a jacket. Then at least I could take it off. But other people would come out here without it and be like, oh my God, it's so cold, and complain. Why? If you've been to a situation, you know what to expect. So I'm, as much as I could anticipate, and then, be flexible and adaptive and all that shit. But, yeah. I want to go there today. I might drive the car and see how it goes, because the issue is, because of the way it is, it goes like 20 miles. It gets up to 40, between 20 and 40. Now, the speed limit in most places is 25, but people be up my ass. Highway, I think it's 55. I can't get up to 55. And I don't want to, that's just a scary situation, especially really far from my house, even though this is my area. So I'm gonna see if I could get a route, all back roads. Then at least I could drive until September 1st. Maybe 29th, because last time the cop, he had the ability to know when my stupid thing was expiring. But yeah, let's see how much we got. My battery just said it's gonna die, but let's see, we got space, so we're gonna talk it up. So I was thinking, you remember, well, I don't know your ages and all that, but remember School of, what is it? School Rock? Yeah, School Rock. I'm just Bill sitting on Capitol Hill. So I went to, I don't know, it came up, I guess it popped up on someone's feed, and it was talking about conspiracy. And it was saying like, these companies own these factories that are putting these pollutant chemicals, but it's done in that like sing-songy fun way, educational, but kind of damaging. And it was saying it got banned. The powers that be said, we don't want that shit being taught to people. And then I looked at it, and there was 11 seasons of that. 11 seasons. I only know 5. I'm sitting on Capitol Hill, Bill's a Bill, Conjunction Function. But there's 11 seasons, or 7 seasons. There's 7 seasons, I think there's 11 episodes in each, something like that. And it ended in 1989 or something. So it's from 70, like 10-year run. And it's weird, why, I guess I already know the answer to this, but why didn't they keep it going, especially like that music? Because Isaac Hayes, I think he's the I'm Just a Bill. So popular artists of the day were making these songs that were educational for kids. And it's like, why did it stop at 1989? Why didn't Michael Jackson make one? Why didn't Stevie Wonder? Why didn't MC Hammer? Why didn't Vanilla Ice? Nah, these are bad examples, but, well, not all bad, but my point is, if Justin Bieber is singing, whatever he's singing, and you might say because they're not the best role models, but we're not going to get into that. I mean, I saw this one just the other day. It was these kids, elementary, let's call them 6-year-olds, and they were singing, ooh baby I like it raw, yeah baby I like it raw, shimmy shimmy yeah, shimmy yeah. And it was just all like, it was just weird. I felt, I know Wu-Tang's for the kids, but not all. I got burnt once, but that was only gonorrhea. So they're gonna update it. So I got burnt once, but that was only measles. Like, that doesn't. I don't know what to say about that. It was just weird. And they were smiling, and they're saying old dirty bastard would be smiling. I don't know. But yeah, and then the guy who made it, I forget his name, but he died in, what, 1990 something? Over in some other country doing some peace work. So he was just like, that was his thing. So all the money that Bill Gates and all the influence that Tyler Perry, again, I don't know if they was, but why don't we have, like, that's always been my dream. I pitched this idea multiple times when I was in Japan for different things, and it always resonated, using music to teach children stuff. Because they need to know this shit. Like my kids, and I guess I'm the same way, but I don't remember. But when it comes like summertime, they start like spraying deodorant and all this bullshit. They're not using it right. So make a song. I don't know. When your body's regulation is flowing, you got to figure out how to use the proper deodorant. You got the It could be done, and it's. So I don't know. So if you know, or now of course you got Bill Nye. He kind of made learning fun. You got Neil deGrasse. I don't know if he sings. I think he rapped once. You got I don't even know. So that whole space. So I'm thinking maybe that could be my space, because I mean, I'm like having an epiphany here. I don't know if I could like become the next. Who's a 40-year-old rapper? I think the not now, like Snoop and all them. They're past the age, but they started when they were 20s or younger. I mean, someone who came out right now. I think, what is it? The guys from Canada who are signed to Eminem, they always go some shit like that. I think they are in their 40s or whatever. But I don't know if I could break out just on my own. But teaching, I have a passion. Like, I have a passion for teaching and talking and helping people. You know this, you know. My whole YouTube is more or less that. I love music. For the most part, I don't swear. I'm kid friendly, for the most part. I'm in school so I can kind of test some of my ideas and concepts while I'm teaching. And I have the background. I could do the music. People have said my voice is smooth like butter. They didn't say butter, but they said my voice is smooth. So I could be my talent. My mixing is getting better. And when it really picks off, someone else can do it on my behalf. So that's I could revive maybe school rock, school rap, or make something. But I think the answer to my question is they didn't want it to be. They don't want people to know. Oh, the video was conspiracy theories or some shit like that. So in this day and age, we got a lot of powerful people who would rather not have the populace. And this ain't like, I was talking to someone the other day, like, oh, Matthew, that sounds like a conspiracy. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. But what is a conspiracy? Like, for example, if I was walking here and I saw a box of gold, a suitcase full of dollar bills, right? So I scoop it up. I turn this off, and you probably wouldn't see that part. I'll edit it, and then I go home. I tell my dad. I probably wouldn't tell my dad. I'll just figure out how to get that money into legal ways and whatever. Boom. And then I would kind of, you said you wouldn't return. No, I ain't return that shit. God put it there for me. So now I'm not telling you. And then everything that would happen from there, I would give scholarships to my school, and that's a lot of money in a suitcase sitting randomly. But and then people are like, how did that happen? Now, the fact that I'm not telling you, is that not a conspiracy? Is it malicious? No. I know some stuff that you don't know, and I might alter some information so you never find out. That's what we do, you know? Like, someone told me about a story about some teacher who was going about her business, and when she turned around, he noticed there was some red stuff on her dress. I think she was blood, period, whatever. So he went over to her, as he told me the story. I don't know if he did this. And he gave her his jacket to wrap around her waist. So that's a cover-up, a literal cover-up. Is that a conspiracy? Is it bad? Nah, he didn't want her to get made fun of. Apparently the kids already seen it and they're already making fun of her, but he just wanted to mitigate any further damage. That's basically what conspiracies are. I don't know if the connotation is always negative. And while we're here, before this cuts off, I was talking to the Spanish teacher. Yeah, I'm sure I didn't talk about this yesterday, but I was talking to the Spanish teacher at my school, and she was saying that some of the students were complaining about gender or some shit. And then it hit me. Actually, I did talk about it, so I just lightly. So in Latin America, or in countries or languages where words are feminine and masculine, for them to demand that pronouns, like, but I'm pretty sure I talked about it. But that's just a weird thing. It's not a. But anyway, so yeah, so he was just saying conspiracy, but why wouldn't, like, if a credit card company goes off, credit card and cigarette companies, they go to the campuses and they're always giving people shit, free this, free that, and they said they had a big sign that says, if you get this credit card, because you're new, your APR is going to be 29%. And this new student, like, is that good or bad? Maybe they don't ask, but the credit card guy would say, that is bad. And they start running numbers. Let's say you buy this gum, or you buy this shirt, $35, and you pay the bare minimum. And they just did all that on that spot. And they put it in terms, like they put it in hot dog or hamburger terms. So if you pay the bare minimum, it'll be like you're paying 8,000 hamburgers. When if you just bought it with the cash that you had in your pocket, it'd only be, you wouldn't have to pay 800 extra hamburgers. A lot of people would be like, the fuck out of here, I ain't doing that shit. Or they would say, how do I get a better APR thingy? And he's like, well, you have to, and they would walk, the whole industry would be changed. And then so I was going on about something like that, and he was saying, yeah, that sounds like a conspiracy. I was like, but that just makes sense. Why would they do that? Why, like, I could imagine someone fresh-eyed comes out there's like, hey, why don't we educate the people? And they're looking at him like, do you know where our bonuses come from, motherfucker? And then a lot of industries are kind of, it's built in. Like, you know Shield? I don't know if it's a state, a world, countrywide thing. But Vivica Fox and the guy from Ghostbusters and Ice-T, Allen Iverson, and other people, they're always on there. So I called him up one day. I said, you know, this promotion, it keeps popping up. So now I'm going to call. That's, you know, got to keep hitting them. So I call. And I'm just like, yeah. And I tell them the specs of my car. And they're like, it'll be X amount. So the idea is, like, right now my catalytic converters, whatever, if I was in the program, I just call them up and then it would be free. Good morning. It would be free, and that's that. Now my dad's just like, well, if you're paying for the whole year, but that's insurance. Basically, you pay money even if you don't use it, but it's that nice safety cushion in case some shit goes down. Now, some people do it, some people don't. Like, I got insurance on my iPhone and my iPad and all that, but I don't drop it. I got a case on it, but I got the bare minimum insurance on my body, which is kind of weird. I treasure my toys more than myself. Luckily, my new job, I'm gonna have better ass insurance, but life insurance, water insurance, like, but that's another conversation for another day. But I call up Shield, and you know, the lady's nice, and she's like, okay. She tells me the price. It's like, so would you like to give me your credit card or your information so we get to sign you up? I said, hold on. I got to talk to my people. I want to talk to my cousin, my dad, my uncle. She's like, well, you got to do it now because we're going to get you locked in. Then that high pressure tactic shit started. And I'm like, well, just give me the number and I'll call you back once I feel that it's a good deal for me. She's like, well, you got to do, yeah, and she just starts like talking faster. And I'm like getting annoyed because it's like somebody would be scared, but not me. So then she keeps going on and on. I'm like, thank you. I will call you later. I hang up. Maybe 20 minutes later, the phone rings. And it goes, hi, I'm Chad from S.H.I.E.L.D. I heard you're talking to our representatives and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Chad, I told her I'm going to tell you. When I'm ready to call, I will call you. The man just hangs up. I think 2 weeks later, someone else calls me up. They're like, so, like, it doesn't seem like a system that's, look at all these people. It doesn't seem like a system that is for us. Morning. So it doesn't seem like a system that is for, like, and it's disgusting. A whole industry, a lot of industries are built on this kind of course you need it, right? It's better to have, because when you don't have it, shit can whatever. But they know statistics. You have a 97% chance that it will never need it, but you're going to be paying X amount. Or Amazon Prime. I tried to buy something for school, so I wanted it tomorrow, so I signed up for Amazon Prime, and it's supposed to be under that, free thing. But then I noticed I got charged. So what I wanted to buy, even though I got free shipping, I'm still paying $15 for Prime. Deceptive. So after I get my package today, I'm going to cancel Amazon Prime. That's how we gotta do it. So then when I'm talking, I get passionate about it, because it just seems, I mean, when I was in marketing, we would read Harvard cases, and that's like the standard of a lot of business schools kind of defer to Harvard, and Harvard puts out all these cases. And when we did the marketing class, and it was like, how did this company become top of the heap? And you're thinking because they were smart, they were innovative, blah, 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 blah. But as time goes on, we see they don't pay people. Like Uber and Lyft, they don't pay benefits. So they didn't really worry about the situation where drunk people are getting lifted. Pun intended. They're getting lifted. That's like a double entendre. So shit are happening and they're not reporting it. They're not like, there must have been a me in that the boardroom, like, well, if we're just having normal people do the job, we're not vetting them. Like, to be a teacher, you got to do all these clearances. To be an Uber driver, you just need a car. How can they not anticipate bullshit shenanigans happening? Someone make that choice. And Walmart had one where they're like a lot of these big companies, or I think Microsoft had one where they were just like bullying people, and Apple, like, and then they just kind of lawyer up and pay for it, and it goes out of our collective minds. And then, so part of me is like, well, that's the strategy. You just need to be in a position where you can bully people, pay for any damages, and do, I think Oprah had one. Okay. So it always pops up. No, like, everyone, we're human, whatever. Protecting assets, whatever. Like, if the rhyming empire grew exponentially, you know who's getting jobs first? If they want it. I'm not forcing it. But my nephew, my friend's son, because they do music, they would become VPs and CFOs. Now, I don't know if I would entrust, but they would get some position where they're going to get paid, and then they could pursue their dreams over some overqualified person, because why not? That just makes sense. Of course, I would hire qualified people, but people I know who are pursuing, they need a break. Like, could you imagine if I got a break I mean, in the cosmic things, maybe I did get a break. I was born, and this comes from this book I read. I wish I could remember the book, but where you're born, when you're born, how you're born, those things, man. Like if you're born with a Shaq body, I'm Shaq, or LeBron, like isn't his son like his, anyway. A lot of sports people are born with that mass, that bone structure. Or you're born with the way of speaking, or you're like all those things, you did not choose them. And then when you're born, like, could you imagine, let's see, I do this sometimes, a little mental exercise. Let's say I was born 10 years ago. Boop. So now I'm like, 10 years ago, I'll be 10, getting ready to go to school. I'm all TikToking. 10 years, you keep going back 10 years, eventually we hit slavery. Keep going back, now we're like in our native countries. Keep going back. So at any point, wherever you were plopped into this timeline, your whole shit, you wouldn't be, oh my gosh, I got like 10 likes on my YouTube videos. That's me. I only got 10 likes. You'd be, oh my gosh, there's a Velociraptor. See how I bring that shit back? So we didn't choose that, so it's a blessing. And to that end, I saw this random guy on Instagram, and he's like, he did this thing where he showed the sound of the 90s, the harpsichord sound. So I don't remember them off the top, but the ascribe is a guy, it's that, and then if you want my loving, and then dun dun dun, Michael Jackson. So if you could, I mean, it's up there, Google it. But basically, that whole era, that point in time, everyone sounded the same. The Neptune era, when everyone had a Neptune beat. The Timberland era, where everyone, and that was, you could kind of plot that. So now people are complaining that all music sounds the same, but it always has that time specificness to it. But it's like people just complain about shit. Just do your research, and then you'd be like, like, or just time specific problems. Like now we're an era generation. Like, I don't know if technology wouldn't existed, but during Vietnam, I wouldn't be doing this. Maybe I'd be holding the signs, or maybe I'd just be burnt. I don't know what I'd be doing. I wasn't born then. But just think of all the things that happened because of that. People coming back from the war damaged in a time when they didn't really care about the vets. I wasn't there. I'm just basing it on the shows that would be time specific. And it's like they come back from the war and their wife already left and they're disabled and they can't get money. I saw this the other day. I think I was in a dentist's office or something. And this guy comes in and he's just like, I'm a vet. I got all this shit. And then the lady is like, I just want to see your card. Like, don't get loud with me. I served in like, he was really agitated. I don't know his life story. But now there's more things happening for people. But again, when you were born, what was happening? And yeah. So so when I was saying, if only I can get a break, maybe this is my break. The fact that I was born now, the fact that I could communicate for free without any gatekeepers. This is a one-to-one transmission. No one is blocking me. Well, maybe they are blocking me because Google is in control of YouTube, and we can see in the news that the media is not, they're in cahoots with what they're in cahoots with. And again, not a conspiracy, just business as usual. But yeah, man, that's my last official summer rant about this, that, and the third. And as always, I appreciate those who listen and those who don't. I mean that, because if, you tune in, like, I don't really care what he's talking about. Don't listen to it. I'd rather that than arguing in the comments. Although people don't argue in my comments, because I'm fringy. I'm off the grid, more or less. I mean, I was gonna stop. I'm gonna ramble on a little bit more, but I was I follow a lot of people on YouTube, Instagram, who are living in Japan, and they follow people. So at some point on my feed, I'll get J vloggers. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, but I saw one, and like, they're just an updated version of everything that happened prior to it. There's, oh, look at Japan. It's weird. But it's not weird. It's just the way things are. More power to them. And I mentioned in the other video, I'm thinking about going to Japan in December. So that'd be cool, man. It'd be really cool, because I need that. I need that in the sense that it's been a rough 2 years being back here, and now things are kind of settled-ish. COVID is-ish. And I can hop on a plane and pop over there and just... I don't even know if it's a good thing. I might not want to leave. Like, I might just be there and be just, oh my gosh. I don't know. I might go to the club, might hit up Roppongi. But when I was there, every 6 months, more or less, it would change drastically. The clubs that was there is gone. So I could imagine everything that's changed. But I'm kind of excited. Give me something to look forward to. But yeah. All right. So again, thank you for watching, and wish me luck for my first week of school. Hopefully my car situation gets resolved quickly. Hopefully the bus is on schedule. They made a new app, apparently. It's a really nice app. They did the work. But they got a free version and a premium. The premium, you could change things to get it, like, have your own little icons. And you can have one with more details about the transportation line. But it's $5 extra. Like, what? But again, they got to figure... But it's like... Why wouldn't that be something that we pay taxes for a city or a state, so they would put that into the infrastructure? Why do we gotta? I mean, I'm just an old man ranter today. So yesterday I got a call from a telemarketer, and I thought it was a real person. And I'm talking to she's like, my name's Paula. I'm like, yes, Paula. And she hangs up. I tried to call back and said, this number's no longer service. I got so mad, I called up my phone company. I said, how is this happening? Explain this. Why? How can a number call me, and then I call them back, and it says the number is disconnected? And then they're just like, well, you can put on RoboBlock. I'm like, why is this not automatically put on there? Why would someone need to call? But it's just *41, *42 for my phone company. I put it on, and I think it worked. I'm gonna have to test it out. So then I call up my cell phone company, like, do you got something like this? They're like, yeah, we got a $5 one. I'm like, why do I gotta pay $5? I'm already paying. And he's like, so how's the service? I said, listen, the service is clear, but I get called these stupid harassment calls, so the service sucks. But I'm always kind of... I understand they don't own the networks and they're just working there. So I try to, keep my I'm tongue-in-cheek about it, like, how can you ask me if I have great service when the service sucks because I keep getting calls from these annoying people? It's like, yeah, that's true. But so I put it on this phone, so I'm hoping it works. Because, and I was saying, not so much for me, but for my dad, because like the phone rings, he's rushing over to get to it. He gets the phone, and then it's all like, hello, how are you doing today? And he's like, I'm fine. Oh, that's great. Terrio. Not that they're speaking in that, but it's all like automated. And my dad he's not distinguishing that. I usually just say, hello, 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 piccolo, and then they just automatically hang up because whatever system they're using is intelligent enough, but it's getting better, man. So I got it off, so hopefully it doesn't call, and that's a win for us. But yeah, all right. Be safe and peace.